Commander Chris Ferguson and pilot Doug Hurley in the process now of working through the procedures for the flight control system checkout, which is standard for a landing minus 1 day diagnostics test of all of the systems on board the orbiter, ensuring that everything is in shape for Atlantis' homecoming to the Kennedy Space Center. Again, for this, we'll use auxiliary power unit number 1. It will be fired up to ensure that we have a good hydraulic system to drive the ailerons, the elevons, the speed brake, all of the aero surfaces of Atlantis.
Hey Houston, if we missed the APU that we're using, we're sorry, but we'll take it now.
No, you didn't miss it, Atlantis. It's APU 1. Thanks for asking.
We've now maneuvered to the proper orientation for the flight control system checkout, and Chris Ferguson now will be activating auxiliary power unit number 1 in support of driving all of the aero surfaces. These aero surfaces, of course, critical to maintain controllability of the shuttle. As Atlantis reaches the first traces of the Earth's atmosphere during entry, which is called entry interface at an altitude of about 400,000 feet tomorrow, the orbiter will be about 5,000 miles from its landing site. The computers honed in on the runway at the Kennedy Space Center. At this point in time of the entry, the aft reaction control system steering jets are controlling the shuttle's aerodynamic functions because there's not enough air pressure in the upper regime of the atmosphere for the elevons, the rudder, the speed brake, and the body flap to become active. As the shuttle descends through the atmosphere, the air pressure begins to build up, and at a pressure of about 10 pounds per square inch around the vehicle, the roll jets first, followed then by the pitch jets, will be shut off. The speed brake begins to function at a speed below Mach 10, 10 times the speed of sound, and the rudder comes into play. So for all of those critical aero surface functions during the regime of the atmosphere when Atlantis is speeding toward the landing site as a powerless glider, this test of the reaction control system surfaces and the flight control system surfaces of Atlantis at this hour becomes very important on the day before landing to ensure for the entry flight control team that we have all of the critical systems of Atlantis checked out in preparation for landing. And the data received back here, the mechanical systems officer reporting that auxiliary power unit number 1 is up and running in support of this FCS checkout. And you can see the aero surfaces now driving. This is Mission Control Houston. Atlantis has crossed the equator and is passing just off the northeast coast of Australia. The flight control system checkout is underway with the activation of auxiliary power unit number 1, one of 3 hydraulic power units in support of driving the aero surfaces on Atlantis. In this first checkout of the day of Atlantis's critical systems in advance of its descent back into the Earth's atmosphere tomorrow morning for landing at the Kennedy Space Center in the pre-dawn hours.